Well everyone, welcome to the Sydney Conservatorium of Music. What we're doing today is we are wandering around the practice rooms and we're going to ask the students some questions. There are over 800 students enrolled here, and you have to ask, does that impact on our development as musicians? Do we learn anything from our peers? Are they a help to us or just a hindrance? I'm asking pianists in particular. Let's just see what we've got here.
Go away.
To be honest, that's happened before, and I'm not surprised. Pianists are very solitary creatures. We don't need anyone else on stage with us. We work very well by ourselves, and in fact, I think we might be the loneliest musicians at the con. But even so, I still believe that pianists benefit from having contact with so many other music students. Let's find someone else to ask. Joy, what do you like about being around so many music students?
I think firstly, I really enjoy just having the community and just having people around me that have the same passion as me. But also I really think there are benefits. For example, it's really inspiring sometimes listening to people play that I respect their playing, and I think, wow, I'm going to work towards that. And then there's motivation to practice. Having your friends in the next rooms working hard makes you want to match that. And for example, if you have a friend that's staying back for an extra hour, you might do that even though you want to go home. Also, there's convenience, I think, when you have a performance coming up and you just need someone to make it nervous for you to, run through something. You can just pop next door and find someone. There'll definitely be someone looking for an excuse to take a break.
Do you find that it's helpful for you to listen to your peers perform in, say, a performance workshop or just in any of their recitals?
Listening to people play, I automatically critique how they play and the sound that they make or their posture, and then that in turn is a way of self-evaluation, having a look at whether or not I do the same weird things or whether or not I can learn from the way they play.
And how helpful is it for you to have these opportunities to be able to perform in front of other keyboard students and your peers?
Probably one of the most nerve-wracking environments to perform in, and so for that reason I can make all my stuff-ups and freak out all that I want before the real performance. And when I have that performance practice, when I have the real thing, I can relax a little bit more.
Well, yeah, thanks for answering all my questions. So you go back to practicing.
Cool.
So Nick, why the rejection earlier on?
Yeah, look, I've got a lot of practice to do. I have a performance workshop tomorrow, you see, and I'm playing this really long and this really difficult piece, and I really need to concentrate on my memorization and just getting it right, and I need to do that by myself.
But wouldn't it be helpful if you had someone like me to listen to you practice then?
Well, how can I practice it if someone's around? Anyway, it sounds like crap in the moment. You won't want to hear it. It's, I had a lesson the other day, you see, and my teacher had a lot to say, and I'm just working through that at the moment.
You don't want my advice at all?
Your advice? Look, okay, maybe if I had some technical issues and I wasn't too embarrassed about them, maybe I'd talk about them with other people, but otherwise, for musical matters, I really, shouldn't we be working them out ourselves? Either I rely on my teacher or just my own musical interpretation. Yeah.
So you don't talk about practicing or general piano issues to any other students?
Well, we see, we're in this room practicing on this piano for so many hours in a day that when we're out with friends, we'd really rather talk about other things. Anyway, are we done now? I really need to get back to this.
Oh, yeah. So is there any aspect of being at the con with all these music students around that you find really helpful?
Well, for me, the most attractive part of being a musician is chamber music and accompaniment, playing with other people. I find it the most rewarding aspect of playing music. And I mean, you can learn so much by playing with others.
But what in particular about chamber music do you find so good for you?
Well, I mean, it depends on who you're playing with, what instrument you're playing with. For example, if you're playing with a singer or a wind instrumentalist, it'll teach you how to breathe with them, which of course they have to do. Something you can incorporate into your own playing, something that soloists don't do so much. Similarly, if you're playing with stringed instruments, it'll teach you how to mimic their sounds, their bowing on your own instrument. Again, something that you have to do in solo repertoire.
What happens, say, if you're working with someone who just isn't that musical, and that, you know, that does happen even here at the con?
Sure. Look, I mean, it can be a difficult situation, but there are things you can do. I mean, I find that if someone's not playing as particularly expressively or musically, it makes me want to play even more musically myself. I find that if I can really express myself to the fullest, that it can draw them in and make them play even better. But even then, if you're playing with people who you're not particularly enjoying playing with, at least it'll teach you about the administrative side of music playing, you know, scheduling rehearsals, getting there on time, all that sort of thing.
Well, that's all I have for you, so thanks for answering my questions.
You're welcome.
Well, there you have it. Even lonely pianists benefit from being in a community like this, where we can listen to other people play, where we can perform in front of our peers, where we can even talk to other people if we really want to. So I hope that you learn to embrace everything that the con offers, and best of luck for the year ahead.